What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Daniel Dubois versus Filip Hrgovic, and this was a 12-rounder for the IBF Interim Heavyweight World Championship, and this fight was Saturday, June 1st from the Kingdom Arena in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and this fight was broadcasted on the Zone pay-per-view as part of the 5v5 Matchroom versus Queensbury show. And we see another huge upset win for Team Queensbury as Daniel Dubois turns it up and stops Filip Hrgovic in the 8th round, improving his record to 21-2, improving the Queensbury score to 8-0 over Matchroom, handing Filip Hrgovic his first loss. Another huge heavyweight upset. Within just weeks of after seeing a big upset with Ajit Kabayel stopping Frank Sanchez, and then obviously Alexander Usyk defeating Tyson Fury in a thriller. What a really past few weeks in this heavyweight division that we have seen. And yeah, leading up to the stoppage in this one, I had 67-66 for Daniel Dubois leading up to the stoppage. And this was a really fun fight while it lasted. And just to break it down round by round, the first round I gave to Filip Hrgovic. Both actually were landing some big shots, but Filip Hrgovic, man, landed 5 straight flush shots on Dubois' chin, and he ate them like nothing. Dubois came into this fight in excellent shape that I've never seen him in before. I mean, obviously, he always comes in with great shape with his muscular build, but he really looked solid in this one, especially. And yeah, in that first round, I guess contrary to other fights, I mean, he took these punches like nothing. He really didn't even look shaken by any of these shots tonight. So I bet he's been doing a lot of neck bridges, a lot of training, trying to get his body more conditioned to take these shots, and I guess it paid off. But then in the second round, I did give it to Filip Hrgovic, or excuse me, I did give that one to Daniel Dubois, as Dubois actually landed a few clean flush power shots on the chin of Hrgovic, but Hrgovic was also firing back with that right hand, making it a very fun fight. Then round number 3, I gave to Daniel Dubois. It was a really close round. Dubois landed some big shots on Hrgovic early. However, Hrgovic later on turned it up and was landing some very good shots from Dubois, so it was a back and forth type fight. Then, round number 4, I gave this one to Filip Hrgovic. I thought Hrgovic overall had the better work. I thought that he landed some very good slicing straight right hands on the face of Dubois, but Dubois took them. Then in round number 5, I gave this one to actually Filip Hrgovic again. I thought Hrgovic, his body language, I thought was pretty poor. It looked like he was just kind of plodding around the ring. However, I thought he had the better work still. And obviously, body language doesn't win you the rounds. But his body language looked pretty bad, but he was still landing some very good shots on the chin of Dubois. However, in the 6th round, this is where Dubois really started to turn it up. Hrgovic started to look like he was tiring. Even though he did decent in the 5th round, that body language continued to get worse. As in the 6th round, Dubois just had the better body language. Hrgovic was fading. Dubois was just pressing forward, landing some solid shots flush on Hrgovic. Then round number 7, more of the same. Daniel Dubois battering Filip Hrgovic in this round. This 7th round, I thought Hrgovic was going to get stopped. He was getting pushed against the ropes, hammered with big shots, and towards the end of the round, it looked like Hrgovic was going to quit. It looked like he was done. He got hammered with a few flush shots. Both his eyes were cut at this point, and he really looked finished. Then in the 8th round, Dubois kept plugging forward, really trying to go for that stoppage. And then ultimately the referee obviously pulled them apart, looked at the eye, brought the doctor over. The doctor looked at it. It was covered in Vaseline. It was a brutal gash, and the referee stopped it. I'm obviously not going to be like, oh, Hrgovic could have came back, or it wasn't really a valid stoppage. It was. I mean, Hrgovic was bad to get stopped in the last round before. It was turning that way, and obviously his eye was cut pretty badly, so a very good stoppage win here for Daniel Dubois, improving to 21-2, and he picks up an interim world title here, and this could be big, considering obviously he's the interim champ. And I mean, really, I got to give it up to Daniel Dubois and what could be next for him. And I think obviously there's one man and one man only that we could see Dubois fight next, and that's Anthony Joshua, and that's going to be a crazy fight. I would love to see that fight be in England for all the fans there. Obviously, 2 English fighters going at it, heavy hitting English fighters especially. In probably like Wembley Arena or the O2 or something, probably later on this summer maybe. But yeah, I think that's going to be next for Daniel Dubois. But for him, he's really taken tough fight after tough fight. and just props to him. Fought Hrgovic, fought Usyk, and in that Usyk fight, I mean, some people argue he should have got a knockout victory there. He fought Usyk in Poland, fought obviously Joe Joyce, fought all these guys, fought Jarrell Miller in his last fight before this and got a stoppage. I mean, he's fought a lot of big names, obviously, and just props to him for finally ending it. And then he also knocked out Trevor Bryan before to pick up the WBA regular title. He's also a former regular WBA champ, now an interim IBF champion. I mean, he's picking up some of these belts and he's making moves, and we obviously could see him become a world champion possibly when fighting Joshua. Considering obviously with the mandatories and how that stuff works out, we could see the IBF belt, the interim title that he's just won, be elevated to the full world title. So that could be very, very interesting. But as for Filip Hrgovic losing here for the first time in his career, for him, I think he's got to bounce back in a must-win fight, and I think we will see him against another high-level heavyweight, probably on one of these Riyadh season cards. And I think, obviously, next for him, I think we could see him fight maybe like Frank Sanchez, maybe even the winner of Joyce and Chisora. But I think I would not mind seeing him against Frank Sanchez. Both are coming off some tough stoppage losses, and I wouldn't mind seeing who would come out on top of that one, and that could be a big win for either man moving forward, and seeing who could really press forward and stay in there as the top 10 guy in the heavyweight division. So overall, Daniel Dubois pulls off the upset and really outright wins it for Queensbury as he stops Filip Hrgovic in the 8th round to become the IBF interim world heavyweight champ. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.